Okay.
Okay, we're ready.
Hi guys, it's Deanne and
It's Crystal. Hi, everyone.
hi everybody. We are so excited to be back. Thank you for taking the time to check out Empowered Mind. We're going to be talking today about such an important topic, and that is implementing self-care in your life. So I wanted to talk about a really important study that was done with Birchbox, and basically this company did a survey, with men and women talking about self-care. And
Yeah.
so in this study, they found out that 79% of people believe in having some form of self-care, but only 39% of men practice self-care and 32% of women practice self-care. And I was wondering, where does this disconnect happen where 80% of us believe in self-care, but only 30 something percent or a third of us are practicing self-care? So me and Crystal, we're going to be talking a little bit more about our journey with self-care and what we're doing right now and some ways you can implement self-care into your life. So stay tuned.
Yes, and I think that one of the reasons why there's a disconnect is because we're all so busy. We have so many things that we're doing on a daily basis. We're going, from work to other things, activities. We have commitments, engagements. I think it's just we understand and know the importance of self-care, but when it comes to the actually doing it, I think it's just so much distraction that it causes the disconnect.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like the distractions make it really hard. You could be on Facebook or TikTok, and before you know it, you've spent all this time on Facebook and TikTok. It's not truly like taking care of yourself, it's just kind of easing your mind. And sometimes that helps, but does it
Yeah.
help over the long term of things, the way that social media kind of eases our minds or make things better. So I feel like for me, one of the big things that I love about like self-care as far as small or short time periods of self-care is that it's quick. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's that 2-minute meditation did something for me for the day and I feel good. I jumped on my elliptical for 15 minutes and now I'm feeling like myself. I'm walking around, I'm feeling so great. And I feel like that works best for me instead of trying to find that big hour, when my schedule is so busy sometimes as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a model, trying to cook, clean, and everything in between. And it's just like, sometimes it feels like, oh, I gotta go find time for self-care. And so I have to remind myself, let me just make it a small 2 minutes. It's not a big deal if it's 2, 5, 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. How do you feel about that, Crystal?
I mean, I think that's right on. I believe that everyone is different. And what you said is key. You found what works for you and it's helping you to be more productive and getting in your self-care. So I think that's key. We all need to find what works for us. For some
Mm-hmm.
people, it may be meditating and it may be, getting in a massage. For other people, it may be like, I have to do 15 minutes or 20 minutes of exercise every day, and I absolutely need to pray and meditate. So, whatever it is, I think we have to find what works for us and then do that. And I think for me, what works for me is I know that in the mornings, if I can get in my quiet time, if I can get some things done in the morning that's important to me, then I feel like I have a better day. And that's what works for me. So I think that we're all different. We have to figure out what works for us and then we just go with it. But there's so many values, there's so many positive things that comes with self-care, and I think we're all aware of it based on the survey that you talked about. So now I think it's just important to find what works for us and just implement it, whatever it is that we can do.
So we wanted to talk about that list of things you can do to implement self-care in your life. And I think one of the great things, you'll hear it in a lot of our videos, is that scheduling. So
Yes.
put it on that schedule. If you put yourself on that schedule, you're going to be a priority. So I'm big in scheduling my self-care in that time when I have a little time to myself. And I think that's important, you know, and also finding things you love to do. If you love to write, write for your self-care. If you love to exercise, exercise for your self-care. You know, whatever it is that brings you joy, do that for your self-care, because if that's what you're doing, it doesn't feel like work. You don't have to worry about trying to push yourself to self-care just because you know it's good for you. You're already doing what you like. So I think those two big things are really important. And so that's my two things I think that you can do. And I'm sure Crystal has a few things that you guys can do to implement self-care.
Definitely. I think, you know, there's so many things we can do for self-care. You know, number one, I think you have to decide what brings you joy, and make a list of those things and do it like Dan said. And just some quick things that comes to mind that we can do to practice self-care would be, like I mentioned before, maybe taking a few minutes in the morning, or even at night, to just kind of decompress, to just unwind and meditate. And you know, even just drinking a glass of water is self-care. Sometimes we're running so much we forget to drink water, or just to get a drink. I know there's sometimes where I just realize I'm thirsty and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need some water. Just get a drink of water. I know that's simple, but I know it's going to resonate with some people, where, you know, you just need to get a drink of water, or going for a walk. And for me, this brings me joy: shopping. So, you know, you can go shopping, or you can just say no. Sometimes we're saying yes, 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 yes. Maybe just say no to that one, you know, date, or that one thing that you committed to that you really don't want to do. But there's so many things that we could do to really take care of ourselves mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I think self-care needs to cover all of those different parts of us. So hope you guys found this helpful. Let us know, what are you doing to implement self-care in your life, whether it's daily, weekly, or on a monthly basis. So thank you all for joining today.
Thank you guys, and have a wonderful day.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, leave a comment, and subscribe for future videos. We'll see you in the next video.